For longtime GM fans and anyone who appreciates a proper full-size SUV, the Yukon has always held a special place. It's the kind of rig that mixes muscle with a level of comfort that still feels earned, not flashy. That balance is the reason people keep coming back to it year after year. That said, the Yukon's relationship with V8 power hasn't been perfect lately. The engines delivered the grunt buyers expected, but reliability chatter grew louder, especially around DFM. GM has already shown its hand by rolling out changes on the truck side, grabbing headlines with updates to the Silverado. First details about a brand new V8 are out, and that new powertrain will also land under the hood of the all-new 2027 Yukon. Let's go over all the changes the SUV is getting. New engines. The truth is, the current generation of V8 engines did real damage to the Yukon's reputation, not because they lacked power, but because too many owners ended up dealing with issues that shouldn't exist in a vehicle at this price point. DFM became a four-letter word in owner forums, service departments stayed busy, and the idea of the Yukon as a long-term, worry-free SUV took a hit. Eventually, GM had to face it head-on. The company didn't tweak software or quietly adjust marketing language. Instead, it opened the checkbook. $888 million went into new production facilities dedicated to building the next generation of V8 units. After months of waiting and speculation, the first real details are finally starting to surface. Two engines are expected to anchor the new lineup, a 5.7 and a larger 6.6 liter. Stepping in for the outgoing 5.3 and 6.2. Early figures point to outputs reaching up to 450 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers likely represent the most aggressive configurations. As GM's premium full-size SUV, Yukon is getting exactly that. However, this doesn't guarantee instant redemption. New engines need time to prove themselves in the real world, mile after mile, owner after owner. Reliability isn't rebuilt overnight. Still, the fact that GM chose to invest, retool, and rethink its V8 strategy carries weight. It shows acknowledgement, and more importantly, intent. If lessons were learned, new powertrains could mark the start of a very different chapter, one where power no longer comes with a lingering sense of worry. Redesign. Dropping brand new V8 engines into the same old shape wouldn't feel right. Power upgrades grab attention, but design is what makes a new model feel truly fresh when it rolls into the driveway. The Yukon isn't ancient by any stretch, and its last refresh still looks sharp. But GM knows that a serious mechanical reset deserves more than subtle trim changes. We've already seen the first signs of what's coming. The Silverado has been caught testing under heavy camouflage, and that's usually the opening act. Once GM starts hiding full-size trucks in plain sight, the rest of the big rigs tend to follow. The Yukon is next in line. Proportions likely won't change dramatically, but surfacing, lighting, and overall presence will need to impress. New engines raise the bar, and the body has to live up to that promise. Still, the real pressure is inside. That's where the 2027 Yukon needs to feel genuinely modern, not just upscale. One thing that may surprise some buyers is the screen strategy. There's no massive, pillar-to-pillar display coming here. Instead, GMC is sticking with a tablet-style infotainment layout. And the real change is when Ultifi steps in. GMC's in-house software platform is designed to evolve long after the vehicle leaves the lot. It enables over-the-air updates, new features added down the road, and deeper integration between vehicle systems. Release date and price. With the Silverado already out testing, it's only a matter of time before the rest of GM's full-size lineup joins the parade. That puts the 2027 Yukon on a clear path toward a reveal that feels closer than distant, even if the company is still keeping exact dates close to the vest. Pricing, though, is the part that will spark the most debate. The Yukon is already a serious financial commitment, and none of the upcoming changes suggest a rollback. Expect the entry point to climb and higher trims to stretch even further into luxury SUV territory. That's where the Yukon separates itself from its siblings. The Silverado and Tahoe remain the more budget-friendly paths into GM's full-size world. Not cheap and certainly not basic, but still grounded. Overall polish of the Yukon pushes it closer to premium brands than workhorse roots. Even so, the audience is still there. Buyers tend to value peace of mind as much as presence. If the new powertrains deliver on their promise and leave past headaches behind, many fans will gladly pay extra.